What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another vlog. But on this one, if you're a landscaper or just a contractor in general, you might want to stick around. I'm going to tell you guys 5 things that I'm going to change within my business to be able to blow up 2026. And you guys can actually take that, copy and paste it into your business and blow up as well. So come along for the ride, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing. All right, guys, quick little update of what the day's looking like. As you guys saw, started off the day as usual with the workout. Fridays, we get a haircut. Then right now we're actually heading to our first appointment. And so yeah, today's actually a pretty busy day. It's there's snow everywhere, it's cold, but you know what? That doesn't matter. So right now we're actually headed to a consultation. And then the rest of the day we have meetings, Zoom meetings. So once we're done with that, we're gonna head back home. We're gonna run those meetings via Zoom. Some of those meetings are in regards to those things that I'm gonna be changing for 2026. So this evening, we actually have a nice dinner set up for part of the team. We couldn't get the whole team out there for various reasons, but let's head to this appointment. I'm gonna return some phone calls, and then as usual, day's gonna go by fast, so we gotta try to make as much as we can out of the day. A lot of people ask us, what is it that we do or that I do in the wintertime? Well, the guys that decide not to stay here, they go to Mexico and stuff like that, they get unemployment. The rest of the guys that do wanna stay on board, one, we have snow removal when we get snow. This year we started out pretty damn good with the snow. We also have projects that are ongoing. We have a pavilion going up right now. We also have a fireplace with a pizza oven going on. We have some decks going up. We stay pretty busy, I'm gonna say. So obviously we still have appointments, so we have sales. So no matter what, I still have 40 to 50 appointments a month. December, it slows down a bit because of the holidays, but I still go out, do consultations, designs. So we have our design team still going full force. Another thing is permits. So my wife, Adriana, does a lot of administrative work for me. Like all the stuff that's very tedious and like insurance and all the administrative stuff she does for us, and then permits. So we try to get ahead on selling these projects, getting the permits, sometimes preparing material, just having these projects ready to go. Once the ground breaks, we're off to the races. I know a lot of people take time off, but I'm here to tell you guys, it's not the time to take some time off.
Recording in progress.
Oh yeah.
So what was the talk? Yeah, how'd the talk go with Dylan?
It went good. I think he basically had like 1/4 of what we have, and that's been for the overhead. So it wasn't even that much, I guess.
Did you tell him to change it?
Well, he said what he's planning on doing is honestly just turning it off because I guess you would
not dumping all the money, but for now just running what we have at the office.
Yeah. To me, it's like it's authentic. It's just like we don't need anything crazy. Like that's just how we always are. Like just dump, and perform maybe better, but we don't need it right now.
All right, guys. So we just got done with a meeting here with Stanley. For the people that don't know, he's my right-hand man. He's the one that runs everything. A lot of the operational stuff for landscaping experts. And also he does help a lot with MDC, which is modern day contractor. And for the people that are watching, you don't know what modern day contractor is. We do have a school community that I host. It's where we essentially help contractors like yourself or any type of business owner that owns a service-based business. We help you guys scale. If you guys are interested in scaling your business for 2026 and you guys want to work with me one-on-one, I will drop a link in the description so you guys can book a call with my team for free. Because remember, we don't let just anybody in. We have close to 100 members in that community. We want to make sure that you're a good fit for it. So, but yeah, I'm actually going to show you guys an example of how is it that we continue to help you grow within that community as we go. So like you guys can post at any point in time. So like for instance, like this guy here, he's one of our new guys. He just posted, he had a question regarding, I think it's regarding insurance. So we listened to the video.
Hello, good morning guys. I have a quick question regarding insurances in business. So essentially, there's this commercial property that I've been doing work for. And one thing with that is I don't have.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. So here with this question is, the answer is yes. a lot of places are going to require workman's comp, because workman's comp, the way it works is you pay a premium up front, and then they base that the amount you have to pay. But other than that, let me know if you don't understand any of that, or I didn't clarify enough. We'll copy that. Go back into his question. You guys can see. Simple as that. Also, I want to show you guys, now that I have you guys on here, let me show you guys some wins, man. Let me show you. So these are the when we do giveaways, like right now we're giving away a MacBook. Let me show you some of the wins that we have here. Like this guy here, boom, payday. He just posted this here. Check it out. $115,000. Boom. You guys are just winning. One of our wins, he sold a bathroom for $80K, and then another project for $180K to $200,000. All right, check it out so that way you guys can see it. Check this out. Boom. These guys are always killing it. Check it out. We got another one. He just got awarded a $35,000 contract. Boom. Another guy. There you go. Quick project sell. Wins. So as you guys can see, these guys are just winning. So nothing but wins. Quote approved. This is another one. $99,000. Check this out. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one with me and my team to be able to win like these guys here, all you have to do is book a call with the link below. It's going to be in the description. Just go ahead and book a call. Like I said, the call's for free. You're going to be able to talk to my team and see if you guys are a good fit. And if you're not, then we all move on. But if you're a contractor or you own any service-based business and you want to scale, this is it. Let's move on to the reason why you came to this video. Like the very first thing that I'm going to change for 2026 for landscaping experts. And I wrote these things down because like I said, I'm really taking these things serious to be able to bring landscaping experts to the next level. Number one is going to be building a stronger culture. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I think that 2025, I lacked on that a lot. It did cause me, everything was fine, right? We still did better than last year as a company overall. But like I said, I'm continuously trying to get better. And I hope if you're watching this, you're trying to do the same. For me, I had so many things internally that I had to go back and fix from the prior years that I got to the point where all I did was scale. That's all I would think about. More revenue, just scale. And I left so many things that were undone and not finished. So this year, I feel like I went too far into that, too far right. I lacked on the culture, right? And obviously, I tried my best. But if I'm being very honest, I know for a fact that we lost some guys due to that. And guys, as usual, guys will come and go just like everywhere else, right? You're going to have guys that come in, stay. But my goal is to have that retention rate be as high as possible. Yeah, it's not just about money, right? You can pay, you might have high paying guys that are going to leave because you don't have that communication there. You don't have that culture. I'm not saying it was that bad, but I feel like I could have kept a few more guys that I would like to have still on the team, which one of them already called me back and realized that, hey, you know what? It just would have took a few more conversations to stay within the team, but it's something that we need to get better at. And I take responsibility for it as the owner. It's one thing I will tell you guys that if you implement that into your business, I get a lot of questions in the DMs or wherever I'm at, whatever it is, right? Hey, how do I get good people? Well, it's treating the people you have, treating them right. And not only right, but also figure out what makes them click, right? Because each one of these individuals has something that helps them wake up every day. For some people, it's money. For some people, it's having that extra 30 minutes at the end of the day. For some people, it's being able to take one of their kids to school. For some people, it's having us bring them coffee every Friday. So it's different for everybody, right? And the more you're able to accommodate to everyone to a certain level and a certain extent, the more people you're able to keep. I'm speaking to myself, right? Because I like I said, I did not do I tried, and we did a lot of things, right? We could have done better. The culture is going to be one thing that I'm going to work on a lot, and I'm excited for it, right? I'm excited for it. I'm going to be able to get back to the things that I really like to do, which is connecting with people. Why not continue to connect with the people that are within your team? It was one of those years, right, where I had to go back and fix a lot of internal issues I had that the company that I needed to make sure that we're good. And now this year, like I said, we're going to get back to the basics. If you're watching this, and you want to make sure that you grow this year, and you want to grow your team, very first thing is going to be culture. Don't forget, culture is very, very important. Like I said, I'm speaking to myself as well, guys. As that's why I said earlier in this video, these are things that I'm going to implement into my business or go back to make sure that we have a very, very successful year. All right, so number 2, hire and fire faster. So what do I mean by that? I'll start by talking about the people we fire. It's not just about firing everybody. It's not about that. As I set clear expectations when we hire, which we do, and I'm going to get better at, right? It's always trying to get better. As long as you set very clear expectations at the beginning when you hire, there's no reason why you should have to correct the same issues over and over and over and over. And then just not feeling bad, because it's like I come to realize that the other side is not going to feel bad. If let's say you go out of business, or you don't hit your numbers, or you don't hit your targets, then it bleeds. You letting things go, and now bleeds into letting the rest of your team down, because if we don't hit KPIs, if we don't hit our targets, we don't hit the things that we have to hit, or even worse, go out of business sometimes. You let it go that bad, like you're now letting it bleed into the other part of your team, and also your family as well. For me, is what I'm going to do is what I'm going to implement, and you could do the same. When I hire, set even more clear expectations, set very straight, to the point expectations of, hey, here are the things that I expect, and here are the things that you should expect. And if we get to a point where those expectations are not being met on either end, we should have that conversation. Either party can get better on to fix it, and if not, we have to part ways and move on. Because for me, I for some reason led with my emotions a little more, and I feel like it was the same thing on the other end. So what I'm going to do to mitigate that is I'm going to have more frequent meetings with our employees. Like I said, I'm getting back to the basics. We fixed a lot of the fundamentals on the business side, and now we're going to get back to the basics when it comes to our people. So what I'm going to do, like I said, to get ahead of that, is set more meetings with these people, whether it's individual, whether it's in a team basis, whatever it is, but have those conversations. And I call them hard conversations, because in those conversations, there's going to be a lot of things said, a lot of things that are probably going to make maybe either one of you uncomfortable, in the sense of, hey, you know what? I don't like this. Well, how can we fix that? And it's tough, right, to be able to handle those conversations. But as you get deeper into business, you realize that those conversations are not that hard. And even if they are hard, those are the best conversations to have in the long term. Hiring. The part on hiring, I feel like this year we went a little bit slower than we should have, and we had to hire when we needed the people. So that's one thing that I do want to get better at this year. And if you're watching as well, try to stay ahead of that. If you're looking close at your numbers, if you're projecting to grow double the sales, so that means we're going to need double the people. Maybe not double, but we know that we need to grow the team. When you set targets, I fail to set targets all the way across the board. So make sure that if you're looking to project growth, let's say a 200% growth, make sure that not only on the revenue side you project that, you have to project everything else across the board to support that, including your people. I'm going to tell you that the more people you have on your team, the more money you're going to make. Don't hesitate that. Don't wait until you need that person, because at that point you're just hiring to have bodies, and then it's a worse situation to be in. And I'm here to tell you, I've done it before, and it doesn't play out very well. Hire faster, meaning like right now we're going to be hiring. So we're technically shut down for the hardscape, and we're going to be hiring tons of people. Typically I say, you know what, let's wait, let's see how spring goes, or whatever the case may be. But you know what, we're going to hire now. Hire now, make sure to have that prepared. And then again, guess what? If we overhire, then we got to sell more. Having that team ahead of time is going to, like I said, alleviate a lot of the problems that we would run into with hiring last minute. So hire faster, meaning if that person is the right fit for you and you're going to need them in the next month, hire them now. Don't wait until you need them, because last minute doesn't work out. Like I said, that's number 2 for me, and I'm sure that you guys can implement that, and you should implement that into your business as well. So let's go on to number 3. The third thing is that I'm going to be implementing this year is going to be being involved throughout my company's process, all the way from the top to the bottom. It doesn't matter, how busy you are, how big your company is. If you're still a CEO of that company and the owner of it, I highly believe that you should be involved. Not necessarily micromanaging, and I'll tell you guys what I mean. I wrote down a few different key points to break that that down on what I mean by that. But our team grew and they started taking care of all of the things that I couldn't get to, all of that. But that doesn't necessarily mean I shouldn't be involved, right? Being involved doesn't mean micromanaging. We have a marketing team, right? We have a marketing team that does all of our paid ads. That doesn't mean that you let it run and then just don't look at numbers ever again. Just because your top line, for me, like I said, I'm just being super honest, right? Like if my top line was up to par with what I wanted to achieve, and my bottom line looked where it was supposed to be, everything else was ignored. I don't want to say fully ignored, but I didn't give it the attention that I should have. And that is one of those things that, like I said, I want to change, and you should as well. It doesn't matter what size company you are. Don't ignore all numbers other than your bottom line, right? If you want to continue to grow, that's not something that's scalable. That's not something that's sustainable. If you want to stay where you're at, that's not a bad idea, right? Just, hey, it is what it is. Like, as long as you're making that profit you want to make, everything else doesn't matter. Paid media, right? I typically just have, they just do what they have to do and that's it, right? But for me this year, I'm actually going to have meetings with them on a weekly basis, or like maybe even click on some things so that way the algorithm follows me around more. And that way I can say, hey, you see, okay, what are the people out there? Maybe what type of content are my potential leads getting hit with? Do I like the way you guys are going about marketing? Just because it's working and just because it's doing okay, it doesn't mean that it can't get better. So, stuff like that, like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm going to micromanage every single thing, but it's like on that weekly meeting, weekly recap, whatever the case may be, I can go back and say, hey, you know what? I feel like we can do this, add this into our email marketing. I feel like, you guys are blasting me too much. I feel like what does it feel like to be on the other side as a consumer and change that and tweak that? Because let's say we're getting a 20% return on our paid marketing. Why can't we get a 30 or 40% return? Not forgetting about those parts of the business that you're not micromanaging. It's like you can't ignore the numbers just because the revenue looks high. It goes back to the same thing, right? Just because revenue is where it's supposed to be, and because the bottom line is close or where it's supposed to be, don't ignore everything else in between. And that's something that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to. Dissect those P&L, those numbers that are in between that income and that net profit. Go deep into those numbers. The more involved I am, the more that your people see you in the dirt, in the grind, and the more involvement you have in there, it just builds accountability across the whole team. Like I said, it's just something that I've picked up on just being around high performers. I've had a few mentorship calls, and another guy I've been watching. Huge shout out to Dom. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not gonna say it. I've been watching his vlogs too. Super motivation, man, this guy, he's a part owner of Raw, Relive, a few other companies, but he's up there, right? And I watch these guys, him and many other high performers, like be deep in the grind. The accountability that you portray across your whole team, it's like you infect everyone else with it, right? So it's like kind of when you slack, like even if you're not slacking, but the more you're involved, the more you get in there, the more that it's like you make your team want to do the same. And I'm not saying they're not, but it goes back to, can you squeeze more out of that lemon? So I know for a fact that 2026, implementing all of these things are going to help our business even explode even more. So I hope you do the same. Okay, guys. So number 4, the fourth thing that I'm going to do is, it's actually something that I'm not going to do. Not making too many changes at once. The one thing I realized is that when you change everything, you can't tell what actually worked. So this past year, it was such a big shift for us where we were changing a lot, and sometimes too much at once. And what would happen is, you know what, if we changed 3-4 things and then it worked, but we didn't know what worked, because out of those 3-4 things, 2 of those things might have worked, and the other 2 might have been just, too much or not enough or in the wrong direction. So if we wanted to replicate that, we couldn't. Too much change at once overwhelms your team. Being more aware and more in tune with your team. And like I said, I'm coming from the place where all of these things I've already implemented in the last couple of months here of the year. So I know for a fact these things work, and also I've seen these things work in other high performers, right? Like I said, I've had a few mentorship calls, and I get to be around a lot of these people. They're high performers, and these things work. So being in tune with your team, not all those changes at once will overwhelm your team. Remember, big shifts need data, not emotion. When you make a big shift, we need to collect enough data. And that data is going to be skewed if we change way too many things at once. So what I've learned from that is, hey, if something is not working, change 2 major key things, let it run for depending on what it is. Sometimes you might have to let it run for a month. Sometimes you might have to let it run for a week. Definitely not basing it off of emotion. That's another big change that goes within this topic is zero emotion. And when you have that data to back everything up, it's easy to remove emotion. But when you don't, and you have so many things that you're changing, you kind of have to go with emotion and your gut feeling. And yeah, it might work sometimes, but then again, I always ask myself, number one, can we replicate this? And the answer is no. And then the second thing is, can this be taught to someone else? And it's like, the answer is no, because there's emotion involved. All right, guys. So the last thing is that I want to implement is going to be, I want to value my time like it is the most important thing in the world. And as a business owner, you have to do that. If you don't control your time, everyone else controls your time. And that's not a good thing. I mean, honestly, in general, even if you're not in business, like if you're letting someone else dictate and control your time, that is a problem. You have to look at your schedule, you control your time and figure out, okay, hey, I'm gonna do the things that actually move the needle forward in my business. When it's family time, it's family time. But when you're doing business, you have to control your time, not anyone else. High value decisions, like they do require uninterrupted time. Like you do have to be in your zone. And it came to a point where the only time I had that zone, because we're building out so much of the things in landscape and experts, that I had to wake up at 4 a.m. Sometimes that's what it's going to have to take, right? But you need to take control of your time. Sometimes that is the only option you have, because for example, for us at that point in time, we were growing so much that the team needed my immediate assistance, throughout the day. And the only time that I had to myself to make those high value decisions was from 4 a.m. to like 6 a.m. That's the way it works. But when, obviously things have changed and I'm able to bring that time into the day now because I value my time. Because if you don't make time for those decisions, those tasks that move the needle forward within your business, you're in trouble. And then, the last thing that I want to throw in here is your team is going to get stronger, the less access they have to you. And I don't want to say your team can never call you, but, at the end of the day, it's like me and Stanley had talked about, at one point we had a goal of say, hey, how much can we push you out of this operation? The more we can push you out of this operation, the stronger this company is going to be. The more your business relies on you, the weaker it is. And that's something that it took me a very long time to realize. How long can my team, survive without me? The longer they can survive without me, the stronger that business is. Because it's not about me not wanting to work, me not wanting to take those calls. It's more of now you're to a point, or at least we are, where it's not just about me. And I hope you guys watch and think about it the same way. It's not just about you anymore. You can only make so much money and spend so much money. It's not about the money. It gets to a point where it's not about the money. Yes, money's necessary. We always need more. We can always spend more money. We can always have more money. But at the end of the day, it's about your team and them having a future, even if you don't show up or you want to slow down. Yeah, this year, definitely valuing my time a lot more than I have before. Value your time like it is the most expensive thing in this world. Those are the things I'm going to change for 2026, and I'm going to implement, and I'm going to show you guys exactly throughout these vlogs how it's going to help us blow up even more. Show them the outfit after the fifth change.
I changed like 6 times.
I'm last minute, the first shirt that I find, but white, black, white Air Forces, and then a jacket that I didn't even remember I had, so I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Target, H-E-B, Walmart, when I'm where I need to go and buy like a small
puppy chow, I'm probably just gonna leave it alone. I mean, I'll like supplement and put some like wet food in there and make it good.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Yeah.
What's your brand? That liquid is no more.
Let me see, Stan, let me see. It's too solid. Yeah, it looks good. Good. Yeah, all of these look good. Salt, yeah, salos. He's the one. Yeah, he's gonna cut it out. Guys, say hi, Rui. You got Stan. Everybody knows who Stan is. Emilio, Laz, and then Mama Guzman. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Service, everything. So this is a restaurant in Berwyn, La Parra. We know the owner because we hosted one of our MDC events at another one of his restaurants. And what was the other name of the restaurant?
It's like an Italian name. I can't remember.
Yeah. Either way, it's got an Italian name, but yeah, this
is more like Mediterranean.
Mediterranean food. Yeah.
It's Mediterranean seafood.
Mediterranean seafood, but they have everything like we had. I think we all had steak. They have a pizza oven where
they have tapas.
Yeah.
Spanish tapas.
Spanish tapas. Yeah, so really good. It was a service, like they're fast, really good, like not only fast but really good service. Anything you order, this is our second time there. And I would definitely come back because there's many other things on the menu that I would try. So highly recommend La Parra out in Berwyn. So shout out to Chava. All right, guys, we're at the end. We're gonna end the day here. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. We're gonna put the kids down, go to bed, and tomorrow's another day. But if you made it to this point, we appreciate you guys. And as usual, we'll see you guys in the next vlog. Comment, like, subscribe, and catch you guys later.